For days now, this picture has been trending all over Nigerian cyberspace, and it has stirred a heated debate. If you have ever been to Durban beachfront or Cape Town in South Africa, you will notice something striking. The roads along their beachfront are not super highways. They are just normal double-lane roads with heavy traffic, especially because those areas attract tourists, hotels, and big entertainment spots. Now compare that with Lagos. Instead of protecting and promoting businesses that attract visitors, the federal government decided to demolish one of the biggest tourist hubs in Nigeria, Landmark Beach Resort, owned by an Igbo man, Paul Onwuanibe. You know what's actually funny? Someone said that the Atlantic Ocean knows when injustice is perpetrated. It knows that someone's investment was destroyed to make room for land grabbing opportunity under the guise that this scam of a project will pass through the building channel. Let's be honest, Landmark wasn't just another business. It was $100 million ecosystem in leisure and hospitality, housing over 80 businesses, welcoming nearly 3 million visitors every year, including Nigerians in the diaspora and international tourists. It created jobs for 4,000 Nigerians directly and 12,000 indirectly. It contributed over 2 billion naira annually in tax revenue to the Lagos state government. And yet, in one wicked swoop, everything was destroyed. No proper compensation, no time for relocation, no sincere negotiation. The demolition was carried out hurriedly, almost like there was a secret agenda behind it. Now look at the so-called road they sacrificed this massive investment for. Nature has already started reclaiming it with sand and water. A project that would take more than 15 years to complete was used as an excuse to crush a man's life work. A business that put food on thousands of tables. Here is the bitter truth. If Landmark had been owned by someone from the favored tribes, it would have been preserved, beautified, and even promoted as a symbol of Nigerian pride. But because it was built by an Igbo man, the federal government didn't blink an eye before reducing it to rubble. That's the double standard we live with in this country. Instead of protecting investment that puts Nigeria on the global map, we destroy them. Instead of supporting entrepreneurs who create jobs, we frustrate them. And yet we cry that investors are not coming into Nigeria. How would they, when the federal government itself is the #1 enemy of progress? At the end of the day, the demolition of Landmark Resort is not just an attack on Paul Onwuanibe. It is an attack on creativity, investment, jobs, and the futures of millions of Nigerians. It is also a reminder that in this country, tribe and politics sadly come before fairness and development. Nigeria, it is well.
There was no notice at all.
We had a 7-day notice.
7 days. Wow.
Yeah.
That was short.
And one must be practical. So we had a 7-day notice. We were issued a 7-day notice. I mean, to be fair, it probably took another 2 or 3 months before it came. I was on my brother's 60th birthday. I was on a cruise in the Caribbean when I was being sent the Lagos State 7-day notice. You know, it was something that was going around on social media. And someone sent it to me and said, "Is this true?" I didn't know by then, right? So nobody.
So there was no meeting, nothing whatsoever.
Till today, nobody picked up the phone, called me, or wrote to me personally and said, "By the way, here's the issue you have, right? Here's what's going to happen." A lot of it was over social media. So I saw that. Came back when we docked in Florida, flew straight here, and started trying to find out what was going on. So you know, when you speak to people, you think, well, I mean, surely this is not going to happen, right? Because you ask a series of questions. The first one is why, right? The coastal road has been designated on Water Corporation Road. Why would it be changed? Right. So it was meant to be in front of us, not behind. Right. So why will it be changed? The first thing you say. Second is just the socioeconomic activity. We paid over 10 billion naira in taxes the year before. We employ so many people and so many visitors. We were the only business listed on the government's tourism website that was private. Everything else were government. You know, so you just think, no, it's not going to happen. People are jockeying, you know, and they say it's a coastal road, but the coast doesn't start at Landmark, right? Coast starts at Badagry. So you also have, you know, so you say common sense prevail. That took 3 months. Obviously, there was a lot of conversations, but you know, the day it actually started was quite absurd. Was painful. Yeah, was strange.
I'm actually feeling pain listening to you now.
We had a beach hotel, and people were sleeping in the hotel when the demolition started. We didn't have time to take the fridges from the rooms, the TVs from the walls, the mattresses from the beds, the pictures on the walls. You know, you didn't have time to take the plates from the kitchen. I mean, that's how tragic it was. And, you know, one would have thought.
The background as I speak, and that's because about 2 minutes ago the demolition continued, with this wall right behind me being knocked down for the right of way for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road. Now, yesterday, the Landmark Group received a notification from the federal government stating that they would be coming today to demolish parts of Landmark that are in the right-of-way for the Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road. Where I'm standing is at Breeze Beach Club. This is actually the latest addition to the Landmark ecosystem, a members-only beach club that's not that old, and this is the ground zero for where the demolition is going to start taking place. Towards my right, inside Breeze Beach Club, they've already put markings there, marking spots for demolition, and it's expected that Breeze Beach Club will be demolished today. The wall behind me that's being demolished actually started last night, and the continuation is just happening now. You can see the level of sand filling as well that's going on right behind me. Now, this is worrisome because in as much as economic opportunity and economic diversification is important, when this property was acquired 17 years ago by Landmark, it was acquired as beachfront property. Landmark say that this was not the original route for the coastal road. The coastal road was supposed to be routed on the northern side of Landmark, which is called Water Corporation Drive. If you're familiar with this, we also know that this is a road that was revamped quite recently. So the question that Landmark ask is, why have a perfectly good road on the other side of our property, yet decide to build on this side instead? So demolition is expected to go on all day today. The Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, is also expected to be at Landmark any moment from now to oversee these demolitions.